Well, Sports Sedans basically a modified road car, but very, very heavily modified.
Basic shell of a car with anything goes on the inside.
It's essentially a category where the rules are very free.
Putting out about 640 horsepower.
It started its life as a LJ Tirana, far from it now. It's full space frame, full fiberglass body. It runs a 202 Holden block with a Falcon head on it, just something different.
It's a RX-7 Series 3. It's a blue one, the one behind us. Basically full space frame, independent front and rear, mid-mounted SR20.
Now, do you have any hidden talents?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Not really.
How do you like your steak?
Rare, actually.
On pole position, Dean Cam in the 6-litre Honda Prelude. Then comes Glenn Hastings in the 5.6-litre Ford Cortina V8. Damien Johnson in the 6-cylinder Tirana GTR XU1 is next, ahead of Graham Gilliland in his new Mazda RX-7. Rod Smith in the 6-litre Chev-powered Falcon is next, ahead of Luke Chambers in the 20B triple-rotor Mazda RX-7. Anthony Perkins will be next in position number 7, also driving an RX-7. He's ahead of Bob Gill in the Falcon AU. Then comes Darden Brown in the Mitsubishi Galant Turbo. Stephen Craig in the rotary-powered Gemini is next, ahead of Laurie Davidson in the turbocharged Toyota Sora. And rounding out position number 12, Grant Bertrand in the rotary-powered Escort. Racing, and it's Dean Cam who gets the jump away from the start as they head down towards turn 1 for the first time. Hastings in the Cortina is in second place, followed by the Mazda RX-7 of Luke Chambers. They head down to turn 1. Cam still in front. Second place is Hastings. Battle for fourth between the Falcons of Smith and Gill as they go around. Bit of a wet patch there, and it looks like there's a challenge up the inside of Smith now by Bob Gill, and he takes over fourth position, and Graham Gilliland has gone off. So Gilliland has spun. So a difficult start. He's got a lot of work to do. Graham Gilliland has got to get off that very, very wet grass and get back onto the track, so that will put him well out of contention for the race at the moment. But this is the battle for the lead. And closing up under brakes now is Glenn Hastings and Joe Perotta's V8 Cortina, powered by the 5.6-litre Ford engine. It's an all-Ford machine, this one, as distinct from the car in front, the Chev-powered Honda Prelude of Dean Cam. They head down towards Better Electrical Corner for the first time. Cam in the 6-litre Chev-powered Honda. The 5.6-litre Cortina is second. Back in third, Luke Chambers in the triple rotor 20B Mazda RX-7, just in front of the Falcons of Bob Gill and Rod Smith. Through turn 1 again. And Hastings seems to be with Cam, sticking with him at the moment. So we could be in for a good fight here for the lead between Cam, who goes round turn 4. And this is the battle for fourth position. Bob Gill and Smith. Bob Gill in the Ford-powered AU Falcon. Right behind him is the Chev-powered 6-litre Falcon of Smith, and Smith blasts past, using the power of the big Chev to move past Gill and now into fourth position and setting out now after the third place car of Luke Chambers. So we have Cam in first position, Hastings in second, in Chambers, Smith, then comes Gill. Back in the pack a bit, this is George Bengada coming off the rear of the grid in the 6-litre Chev-powered Calibra, and right on his tail is the first of the under 2-litre cars, that's Paul Thompson in the Alfa Romeo GTV. Back onto the main straight again, we're looking at the car of Luke McPherson, also coming from the rear of the grid, and he seems to have some bodywork flapping around there. So perhaps a bit of a touch or a bit of an off somewhere for McPherson. And there you can see the battle for second. Chambers in the RX-7, and right on his tail is the car of Smith. And Smith very, very quick in a straight line. And I would expect that by the time they get to the top of Daniel Road, we might have a new second place man. Here's another good battle back further in the pack. Damien Johnson in the 6 litre, sorry, not 6 litre, 6 cylinder. Damien would love it to be 6 litres. 6 cylinder Tirana GTR XU1 just in front of the rotary powered Gemini of Stephen Craig. And as they head up the back straight, Stephen Craig seems to be closing on Johnson. In fact, goes up alongside him now. Will he get past before they get to the top of the top of the hill and down into Dandenong Road? He certainly has. So a good performance there, and these two have been battling it out right throughout the Victorian State Championship. There you can see, and right behind them, that's the car of Hastings back there. So there was a problem back, obviously, for Glenn Hastings. I believe he's had a stop-go penalty for a jump start. Well, gee, it'd be worth looking at that again. It certainly didn't look like he jumped the start. If it was a very, very minor thing. Certainly didn't help him in the drag with Dean Cam down into turn 1. But there you can see him coming back through the field. So that's a bit of a shame. Robs us of that battle up at the front between Cam and Hastings. And up the back straight, there's Mengada again in the Calibra. 6 litres of Chev power, pulling them over the hill. I think this is the ex-Tony Hubbard car, so it's got quite a pedigree. Tony Hubbard, of course, concentrating now on historic racing with a beautiful Camaro that he's running in historic touring car at the moment. But this is his former car with George Mengada behind the wheel. And a very, very quick car it is too. And there's Lee Olhorn in the under 2 litre Mazda RX-7, powered by a 4-cylinder Nissan motor, and he's managed to go under the turbocharged Sora of Laurie Davison as Mengada comes into the pits. So George Mengada is now out. And there you can see Thompson now all by himself in the 2 litre Alfa Romeo GTV. The question for Thompson will be, can he be caught now by the only other under 2 litre car that's running at the moment at this weekend? And that's that blue RX-7 that we saw of Lee Olhorn a little bit earlier. There's our leader once again, Dean Cam. That looks like Graham Gilliland has recovered, and he's just gone under Laurie Davidson. Gilliland in his car, fairly new car for Graham. Again, Johnson in the Tirana. Seems to be might have been a bit of a misgear there. But the car continues, very reliable car normally, had a few problems last year. But as we look back into second place, and Smith has got past Chambers now. So Rod Smith in the 6 litre Chev powered EL Falcon is now in second position, ahead of the car of Chambers as they go down into Dandenong Road. But have a look at how Chambers will close up now under brakes. Right up close behind him again as they come out of Dandenong Road. You can see the power of Smith's car, but once again as they hit that area where they go out of our sight, Chambers catches right up once again, and he's right on his tail now. Just saw a flash of our leader going through there. That's Cam, but coming across the line now, this is the battle for second place, and that's Bob Gill. Bob Gill is out of the race, so that's very disappointing for Bob. Was running as high as third position at one stage. So very disappointing for Bob Gill. There's our leader once again, Dean Cam. Up the back straight. Dean has been running also some of the National Series races as well. And he's coming up on the back now, Graham Gilliland's old car, and this has been a car by Anthony Perkins. I don't think it's the Hollywood actor, the Academy Award winner. I'm not sure. He might be moonlighting. But certainly there's a big discrepancy there between the power of the 6 litre Chev powered Honda and the rotary powered Mazda. The car of Dean Cam putting out around 700 horsepower, more powerful than the V8 Supercar, and he goes past Davison now. Laurie's car powered by the turbocharged Toyota Sora engine. Cam now with plenty of time, although I think that it looks like Smith is catching up a little bit. As laps wind down. There's the car of Stephen Craig. Mazda Rotary behind the, right alongside the driver in that car. Very light, very good handling car and very reliable. But as they head down towards Dandenong Road again, you can see them over there in the distance. There's our third place man, Chambers, triple rotor, Mazda RX-7. As they come onto the main straight once again. And certainly, there's no doubt about it, Smith is a lot closer now to Carroll. So whether Dean Cam has a problem or not, or whether he's just making sure that he's just biding his time, that he's going to get this car to the finish. As I said, it has had some reliability problems. So just saw Gilliland going through again, and here's Cam. Unfortunately, we seem to have a problem up there at turn 4. In their wisdom, the owners of the circuit have taken away the camera platform that we had on the outside of the track, which was absolutely sensational. We've now got to get on the inside, and unfortunately that makes it very, very difficult for us to get good shots from that corner, and unfortunately not a lot we can do about that. I think it's an occupational health and safety problem. Whatever it is, it's very unfortunate. Channel 10 get a very, very large scaffold over there to solve that problem as Cam comes across for the last time. It's the last lap, and Dean Cam is the leader. Second place is Rod Smith in the 6 litre Chev-powered Falcon, and Cam is falling back into the clutches of Smith now. So has Cam got a problem? Smith is certainly very, very close to him now as they go through turn 4 once again. The Raptor sports car, sponsored car of Rod Smith. Up the back straight, plenty of power unleashed there, and as I said, 700 plus horsepower from Dean Cam's car. Probably Rod Smith not that much short of it. But Smith's car seems to have the handling, and as they get to the top of the hill, Smith is very close now. Smith right on the tail now as they go down to Dandenong Road for the last time. He's right on the tail of Cam. Will he have room to come past? I don't think so. I think Cam might have this. Unless Dean Cam's got a problem, I think he's going to hang on as they disappear out of our sight again. And Dean Cam comes out in front. It'll be a drag to the finish, but Dean Cam is going to go across the line and win round 1 of the Victorian Sports Sedan Championship. Rod Smith will be second. In third place will be the car of Luke Chambers, the Mazda RX-7. Then will come Glenn Hastings recovering in Joe Perotta's Ford Cortina. Stephen Craig will be next in the rotary-powered Gemini. A great performance there by Lee Olhorn in the first of the under 2 litre cars. He came back through the field just ahead of Graham Gilliland. Paul Thompson was next. Then came Damien Johnson, Anthony Perkins, Laurie Davidson, Darden Brown, the Mitsubishi Galant, Grant Bertrand in the Ford Escort Mark 1, and not finishing, unfortunately, Luke McPherson, Bob Gill, and as we saw, George Mengada. And after the race, we caught up with our winner, Dean Cam.
We've had a bit of a problem this weekend with the weather, but we've overcome all that. Inclement conditions. We made the right choice, luckily, for that last race, and we brought it home in one piece. I was surprised to see Rod up behind me, but I think he's going a lot quicker this year than what he was last year, and Luke was in third, so that was all good.